Hello, everybody. Charlie Velasquez here for TFRO and Rugby in Florida. Today, we're going to be talking to two members of the Tampa women's teams, that state champions a couple of weeks ago, who are heading for Orlando this weekend to finally get to nationals and bring that nice big cup from the national title for women's D2. So, without delay, I'm going to bring in Robyn Oliveri. Wait, I'm going to try to bring her in. There she is. Hi, Robyn.
Hi.
This is a one-man thing. I have to do everything. So sometimes I mess up. And Eric Enright, did I get your name right, Eric?
Yep, sure did. Yep.
How you doing? Let me put you up there.
Appreciate you, Charlie.
Hey, always a pleasure. Congratulations on your state title. No surprise, of course, because especially this season, it has been a really dominant season by your team, as it has been not so much, but for the last 2 or 3 years. So let's quickly talk a little bit about this season. Coach, you are a new coach for this team. Tell us quickly a little bit about your rugby and coaching history, so people get to know you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started playing in Texas. I went to Texas State and was playing there. Had some opportunities to play with the Austin Blacks as well, who happened to be at this regional tournament. So it'd be good to see those boys.
Right.
And then I've got a coach. I was coaching the women's team at Texas State, and then moved on to the Austin Valkyries. Last year, I was with the Berkeley All Blues as their D2 coach and assisted with their WPL. And then got the job here in Tampa for this year. So really excited to be with this group and helping lead them to the goals that they want to achieve for this year.
Robyn, you've been a player since the inception of this young team, which 2016, 17, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your player history and about this team.
All right. So I started back in 2012 when I was a freshman in college at USF here in Tampa.
10 years.
And then, 10 years. And after graduating, I started playing with Tampa Krewe. We didn't have much of a team when I started, but we've come a long way since then.
If I don't recall it, the first couple of years were pretty rough.
Yes, we and I'm sure maybe people have heard stories, but we used to share a very small portion of the field with our men's team, and that's no slight to our men's team because they've been awesome and they've been an instrumental part of our growth as well. And I'm happy to say that this is actually our first year where we've had our own practice field for both days of the week, and I think that's really helped us as well.
Awesome. Coach, tell me about this season and about, I know you guys not only played your regular games, which were pretty much all games, like 40 points difference. So, but you did go and look some further competition. You went to Savannah, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? I'm not sure if you did any other games. Tell me about the season, and we're going to be looking a little bit of the final.
Yeah, absolutely. So this year's been really, really awesome. We're obviously starting as a new coach, kind of introducing a new program and system and everything. There's always challenges with that, but all the players on the team have really taken that in stride. And our coaches talk about all the time just how great they look running their system and doing the things that they need to do. So we're really happy with the progress that they've made this season. As far as some of the games we've I think some of the scores don't do justice to some of the other teams that we played. We had some really tough fights with Fort Miami and Jacksonville this year, and they've been getting better and better each time that we play them. We also, like you said, played in the Savannah tournament and wasn't able to bring everybody up to there, but got a lot of really good reconnaissance for some of the other teams that we play and how some of our systems will work against other styles of play. Like, so when we played Raleigh, who's a very good D1 team, or Knoxville, who's also in the super regional this weekend, it was great to get a run out against those teams and kind of see how we stack up against them and what we need do different and what we need to keep doing against those kind of sides.
Robyn, tell me a little about your teammates, because I thought you guys are very good social media for one. I'm not sure who does that, but you do some really good stuff. I just saw today you mic'd up one of your players, right, at the warm up.
Yes,
that was very funny.
Yes. So Kelsey Casham runs our social media. She's awesome at it. It was her idea also to mic up one of our teammates. She had mic'd up Nikki Snyder, who was she just scored the try that was playing. But we have a lot of awesome team members this year. We have a lot of depth, I would say, to our lineup as well. So even those that are coming in as some of our finishers and impact players, like we know that there's not going to be any drop of play. I guess you could say we know that people are going to come in with intensity and keep it going for us.
What would you say is like the strength of the team?
I would say our discipline and playing to our structure. But I'm curious what Eric thinks as well.
Coach, because your first rival this weekend is going to be Little Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I see you have a lot of experience coaching different teams, and you seem to be knowledgeable of what's going on. What can you tell us about this team and specifically Little Rock and your other possible opponents once you move on to Sunday? Because we're going to assume you're going to win all the games. I just want to know how,
Little Rocks, they've been, so I used to coach in Texas, so we used to play against them as well. They're always a really physical team, and they have a lot of really good athletes across the pitch, especially kind of in the outside channels. So they're 13 and 15 are really strong. And yeah, they just bring a lot of heart to every time that they play. So it's going to be a tough game playing against them. Knoxville is the other team, and Knoxville is going to be playing Charleston. Charleston wasn't able to go into nationals last year, so we don't know as much about them. They're still building up their club, but obviously did well enough this year to advance. Knoxville was the national finalist last year. They actually happened to beat me when I was coaching for the Berkeley team last year. So,
so you have a little thing there, a little revenge too.
So got to hopefully get some payback for that this year, but we'll see. They're a very good team. They have great athletes all across the pitch. They run a 2-4-2 that they do a very, very good job at. Have a lot of USA South, and they just added a USA starting player. Janine DeTavo is going to be playing with them, so they're going to be a really tough side to play. And yeah, they're the national finalists for the reason. They're an excellent side.
I think this type of game, which is always so much different than your regular games, right? Because you're playing for so much more and against really good teams. If not, they wouldn't be there. How do you approach and my opinion is there's a very strong component of the mental fitness of your team to be able to go through those 80 minutes, and especially like the last 2 or 3 minutes when it's a tight game and you either have to score or you have to not be scored against. So how do you prepare the ladies for this type of game? Like, do you make them cry in the locker room?
No.
So they go out? Well, you should. They have to cry before the game. That's what I have an experience playing in my national team in Uruguay. And that's the one thing I remember, that before the game, the coach made us cry in the locker room. So when you go down the field, there's no way you're going to miss a tackle, There's no way. It's like just impossible.
The big thing that we've been trying to focus on has been trying to just focus in on what we can control, right? Talking about ourselves and not worrying about like environmental factors and the score and all that kind of stuff. Just focusing in on kind of taking each play and getting in that mode of being in the zone. I think that's something that you find when that's what brings a lot of people to rugby, is getting to practice and being able to do that, because they're not able to do that outside in their normal lives, right? So that's a big thing for us, is just sticking to that, and they've been doing a great job of it. Just like you see here in the Jacksonville film, all the way through the 80 minutes, we were just doing our thing and being able to play our structure, no matter what the score was, what the circumstances were, anything like that. So that's what makes us as coaches really proud to see the ladies be able to do that.
Well, nobody could keep that score, It was pretty tough. Robyn, let's talk a little bit about the situation of women's rugby in general in the state of Florida, because especially after the pandemic, at the college level, they got really hit bad. Like many teams could sort of not come back. To be honest, the D2 women's situation is like this year. It has not been good from previous years. What do you think is going on, or what can we do to improve this? Because everybody wants better competition, of course, and everybody wants more rugby. What do you think?
Right. So at Tampa Krewe, we've been trying to start a U19 women's team, where we think
I was going to ask you that.
Our youth will really help keep it going for the women's side. I am looking forward to the college side also growing and helping funnel in some more players, hopefully helping out Orlando and anybody else. I know we used to have Indian River as well in our competition. Yeah. But at least for Tampa, we've had an increasing amount of numbers, and I think that's really been because of our social media. That has really helped us get out there, and people have reached out to us. They're like, hey, we moved to Tampa. It doesn't it doesn't hurt us that Tampa is a nice place to live. So, yeah. And Florida in general.
Is that true, Coach? Is it a nice place to live?
I do like it here. Yeah, I grew up in Houston, so it's a fairly similar vibe, and the weather's the same and all that. So I really like it here, and it's a great team to coach. So
I guess also, as like South Florida, the Tampa area is the one that has like a lot of teams. You have 2 men's teams, you have Decker teams, the USF teams, you have some youth. So I guess that helps. Well, hopefully we'll see some progress next season. But I think everybody, and sometimes people say, "Oh, what is the union doing to improve the women's game?" Hey, it's not the union's responsibility. The union can help, of course, and so I think it's among all of us to improve rugby in Florida, in all aspects, and specifically in the women's game, it's going through a rough period. So we really need to, among all of us, improve it. Well, listen, I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much for your time. I'll see you on Saturday. Hopefully I'll be putting out some nice highlights at Saturday night. That's my plan. I hope you score a lot of tries and move on to Sunday. Thank you very much, guys.
Appreciate you, Charlie.
All right. Thanks for having us.
Okay. Bye-bye. I'll see you Saturday. That was the Tampa women's team, the coach, Eric Enright, and Robyn Oliveri, talking about this weekend's tournament. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.